Okay, step one in this process is really to prepare your cold calling app. Now, one of the great things about smrtDialer is that you can upload your lists into a cold calling app that's completely separate from where you keep your normal leads, and then use the genius of Podio to push everything over and automate it. This means that you can, most importantly, keep your databases clean. You're not cluttering away. Now, when you install smrtDialer, we do install a Smart Leads app and a call script app. And of course, you can use the Smart Leads app and customize that. We do tend to install cold calling list apps. And the key for us is how we set these up to make sure we're tracking the right things in the right way. So right away, you'll see that we have some sections here. Right at the top, we link to on the upload. When we upload the leads, which we'll show you in a future part of this video, we link to our campaigns app. And that's really important because it means we can track every lead to their correct campaign, and we are able to do the metrics and make sure that we're tracking success rates on each different list as a campaign. So that's one important thing. Two is we do tend to have a field called call lists. And the reason that is if you're uploading a 100,000 leads list, you're going to probably want to split this up, and you want to have different options of how to split it up. You can split it up by this call list field, or by agent if you want to split it up by agent, or by any sort of address as well. It's really up to yourself, but that's sort of, to me, those are some best practices that help you out. The next section here this is the data that your list holds. So you can see here we've got a full name, first name, last name, email address, phone, property, mailing, and then some specific information, owner occupied, credit score, other information. It really doesn't matter. These fields will depend and will fluctuate based on the type of list you're buying. You can add different fields here. If you've bought a specific list that has specific information, you can add all that. But a key thing is that you have one unified phone field where you're going to map all of the all the phone numbers that you have for the lead. You're not going to have separate fields. You're going to have one unified phone field. That's a critical part of preparing your cold calling app. And then the final thing that we do, and then again, this is what we find as good practice, is we've got this sort of process management section where we track the smrtDialer dispositions, we track the status of the lead, and then we essentially manage the push of a cold calling lead to our main system. So in our main system, we have a properties app to track the property, the leads you're working on, and we have a contacts app to track people. So you can see here we've got a process that we do using GlobyFlow, where when a lead is qualified, we're going to search the contacts app to see if the contact already exists, and if it does, link to the existing one. If it doesn't, create a new one, and then we'll drop that relationship field here. And then, of course, we're going to do the same for the property. Does this property already exist? If it does, link to it. If it doesn't, create a new one and link it to it. It's just a good way of sanity checking to make sure you're not cluttering your database. These duplications, they don't always work 100%. You're still going to find you miss some things if people misspell things or spell them a different way. But it's a good way of catching 80% of it. And then finally, in the cold calling list, we do tend to have these date fields where we automatically put the creation date, and then if someone stamps it as dead, DNC, or converted, we put the date of that so we can track how long it's open. And then of course we also we tend to track how many communications we've logged to this specific app, so we know that as well. So that's how you prepare your cold calling app.